Hey guys, today's video is going to be focusing on fighting craving and how to stay disciplined during your contest prep, or just not even your contest prep, but overall your fat loss or your mass gaining diet, or whichever one you prefer. But before we do get to that, I'd like to share a little story. So for the past 2, 3 years, I've been going a bit off my diet. I'm gonna admit that because I didn't realize that it was so difficult to be able to prep yourself and be able to be so disciplined with food. Like I love food. I love food, especially like especially stuff like Kit Kats, stuff like chocolate, like chocolate, like Skittles. I eat the most unhealthiest things that you could possibly think of because I love sugar. And that is my one weakness, and that's been my weakness throughout my previous prep. But this year is a little bit different. The reason why this year is a bit different is because before I started this prep, I did practice a month and a half of just being able to eat properly, being able to eat clean, being able to eat like in a way where I wouldn't be thinking about sugar or any of that stuff, because I wanted to discipline myself to a point where I can do this without going off my diet, without cheating on my diet. Because I've had previous years, it's been horrible in terms of cheating on diets and stuff like that. Like, I hated it. So before starting, I took a month and a half to figure out what I want to do and why I want to do it. And what I realized was like, I want to be able to stick to my diet, and the way that I figured this out was I asked myself one simple question. It all depends on however your goal is, but this question is, it can be, how bad do you want to win? How bad do you want this? And what are you gonna do to get this? So ask yourself that question first and then figure out that answer. For me, my answer is yes, I want to win, I want to step on stage, and I want to get my pro card. So, with that as a motivation to be able to move me forward, I ask myself that every single day when I'm about to go out and do something silly in terms of food, or just in terms of just screwing things over. When I'm going to the gym, before I step in there, the first thing I say to myself or ask myself is like, how bad do I want this? And am I going to give it all I got to be able to make sure that I do what is needed to make the best of what I got? So that's essentially it. That's how I hold myself accountable in terms of being disciplined. And so far, it's been working pretty great. And if you are having an issue with your prep, ask yourself that question first. And then once you've figured out the answer, just figure out it's like, what am I gonna do to hold myself accountable for whatever actions that may ruin my prep? That's pretty much it. Now, in terms of fighting your cravings for your prep, eat the foods that you love, man. It's not that hard. It's pretty simple. Don't like do a diet to kind of kill yourself with chicken and rice, broccoli and rice. It gets boring. Yes, I understand that back in the day in professional bodybuilding time in like the 1980s, 1990s, everyone just always did the plain simple chicken and rice, broccoli and chicken and all that. But today it's 2019. We have so many different options available for dieting that you can't possibly just stick with chicken and rice. Like, for example, if it fits your macros is a wonderful, wonderful idea towards prep. And it's a good concept to use, but a lot of people tend to use it differently. I don't go overboard with it where I eat like Kit Kats and like whatever. So what I do is I follow an 80% of just eating clean, good quality foods, add some protein in there, some meat, and then 20% just eat certain things that I love, things that I enjoy to eat. So that way it helps me adhere to my diet, and in that way I won't have a reason to go off my diet. So, for example, I really, really love eating, let's say, Kit Kats. occasionally, every so often, I have a bar of Kit Kat because, God, you don't understand my love for Kit Kats. But I'll have like a Kit Kat bar, and that's just one. And as long as I put that into my macros and it fits, I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried about it. But I'm not gonna go and eat like 5, 10 Kit Kats because obviously that's not gonna fit into my mac. Jeez, excuse me. Obviously that's not going to fit into my macros because that's a lot of fats, that's a lot of carbs, and that's just unnecessary. But you can get away with one. And then in terms of eating clean, I simply eat some. The 80% part is I would have like healthy foods like eggs and chicken, maybe some steak, some rice, some vegetables, or some fruits. And I would alternate between these throughout the day. I mean, the one thing that I've noticed there was always a struggle was just like prepping is very difficult. It's hard, it's brutal, and some people have problems being able to follow up with it. But like I said, once you figured out the answer as to why you're prepping, why you're going for a fat loss diet, why you're going for a weight gain, or whatever it is your goal is, you always have to ask yourself the question of how bad do I want this? Am I willing to do whatever it takes to get me where I need to go? And once you figured out that answer, just hold yourself accountable. Because if you don't hold yourself accountable, you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. And if you don't get the results that you're looking for, you're just going to be disappointed. So that's the discipline part. Now here's the other part. Food cravings. I already explained it, but to make it simple, follow a diet that allows you to adhere to your goals. That's pretty much it. Keep it simple, guys. Don't stress over things that are not even complicated. I know it's easy to say that, but I feel like in this sport of bodybuilding and just fitness in general, we tend to make things that are extremely simple very complicated. Don't do that. So this is the best I can think of. Hopefully it answers most of your guys' questions. But if you like the video and you like the information that I'm sharing and you have time, click on the subscribe button, like, comment, and share, and I'm looking forward to make more. I also might be making a second video because it took me a whole week to get to this one. So yeah, thank you, and till next time.